everyone, my name's Amea and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video on the do's and don'ts of eye makeup for hooded eyes. I have hooded eyes. They aren't the worst, but they do get worse with age. So if you've got them when you're younger, they're probably going to get a lot worse as you age because everything naturally droops. And also, if you haven't always had hooded eyes, you might find that, as you get a bit older, maybe start heading into your 30s or so, they might start to become more hooded. So having these tips and tricks on hand will be good help for you if you have them now or also in the future if you might get them. Before I start, I just want to say that it's just makeup. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to do these things. If you do any of the don'ts, don't be offended. Just, maybe try out, one of the other options that I give you instead. See if it makes a difference in the appearance. You're either gonna like it or you're not, and you can just wash it off, so no big deal. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it and I'm gonna get into the video now. So, the first thing you need to be wary of is your brows. Now, keeping your brows too thin or over plucked means that this area here is going to be even bigger. So some people, if your brow, you don't have as big a space here, it might not be too much of an issue. But for someone like me who has a really big space here, if my brows are too thin, that space is going to be even bigger and make it look even heavier, therefore making the hood look even bigger. So I'm not going to tweeze off all my brows on one side to show you not how to do it, but I will just leave it just normal without being groomed or anything. And on the other brow, the way that I would recommend would just be keeping your brows as full as they naturally are, just a bit more tidy and filling in any gaps. I think filling in the brows is kind of a necessary step. This step probably isn't as obvious on my brows because I do naturally have kind of full brows, but keep that in mind if you're worried about hooded eyes, that maybe try growing your brows a little bit thicker. Now, when it comes to actually applying your eyeshadows, what you want to keep in mind is anything shimmery is gonna draw more attention to that area, and anything more matte is kind of gonna hide that area. So I personally do wear shimmery eyeshadows sometimes, even though I do have hooded eyes. But if you're really wary of it, maybe just avoid the shimmery shadows until you get a hang of dealing with it. So for the don't side, I'm going to just take a medium brown shimmery shadow and apply that just to the eyelid. Now, I've only applied that to the eyelid, not to the crease or anything. And if you have a look at that, you will see that since my eyes are now resting, the color just stops. And that will make your eyes look smaller and the hood looks more like hoodie over the top. If you want to wear that shimmery eyeshadow, I would definitely recommend blending a matte color through just to bring it up. So even if you do this with a matte color, definitely bring it up. So on this side, I'm going to show you what to do. I'm just going to take a brown color, kind of similar but matte. Although, as I said before, I do use shimmers eyeshadows, but I'm just going to show you all the steps and then you can adapt it to suit yourself. So this is a matte color, quite similar, maybe a little bit darker, but whatever. So as you can see, just on the lid, but what you want to do is bring it up a little bit higher. So you need to work with your eyes open and keep checking back. So you need to take it a little bit higher so that when your eyes are resting, you can see a bit of the shadow still, because you want it to cover that hood still, and it's going to recede the hood, which you shall see shortly. So you can see, even just bringing it a bit higher, this eye now looks less hooded even though I haven't blended it yet. So if your eyes are very hooded, you'll need to just keep working up until you can see a little bit of the brown or whatever color you're using when the eye is resting. So I like to lift my brow and drop it a few times while I'm doing this. This is my go-to smoky eye because it is just the easiest to do for hooded eyes. So if you have a look, you can see the brown has covered a bit of the hood now. So if you are working with your eyes and you're looking down into a mirror like this, you're going to think that that's a lot of brown, but when you relax, most of it gets hidden. So that's what you want to do. When you're doing it, make sure that you just keep your eyes relaxed, keep coming back to that relaxed shape, and it's going to look a lot better. You can already see this one just looks so much worse than this. Now, something that I've never really been super into, but I know is like an absolute must-have for some people, is highlighting the brow bone. Now, I'm still gonna, you can use a matte or a shimmery color. If you're gonna do it, I would really recommend a matte color, just cause that's just what I would say. But what you wanna do is only keep it up nice and high. If you bring it down too far, it's gonna accentuate this sticking outness. So I usually give a brow bone highlight a miss just because I don't think it's super necessary. But if you want that extra step, then, you know, go for it. This is a matte color. I'm just going to use it on both eyes. On this one, I'm going to show you what it's like if you do too much of it. So I've just applied it the whole way under quite thickly. You can see it's just accentuated even more. Even though I haven't even brought it onto the bit that hoods, it still makes it look a lot more severe. Now on the other eye, I'm just gonna take a little bit and I'm only gonna work it right up in the arch. And then I'm just gonna soften it with my finger a little bit. And you can see that that is obviously just lifting here and not bringing the whole area forward, because highlighting brings areas forward and draws attention to them. So you only want to keep it right there just to lift that brow. Next don't is apply too much eyeliner incorrectly. Hooded eyes, we can really struggle with winged liner in some cases, especially if the hood falls below the outer corner of the eye. So if you look at my eyes, the crease stops just here. So I can actually bring out a wing quite easily. But you have to still be careful that, you know, it doesn't cut across that crease, otherwise it's gonna look a bit funny. Another thing with eyeliner is if you look at that space available on the eyelid, you don't wanna block that up too much, because if you do that, it's gonna do the same thing as the eyeshadow just on the lid. So you can only see that small amount, and that being, you know, black or whatever is gonna make it even more severe. So you wanna keep as much of that mobile lid space open as possible. So you want to do quite thin liner. I'm just using the Face of Australia liquid liner. I just picked this up today because it was on sale. So I don't know how well this is going to go. But I'll do the don't side first, because who cares if we screw this up. The only people who I think can get away with thick eyeliner are people who have a lot of visible eyelid space. So you can see that it just goes basically from black to white, so it's really accentuating that hood. Now, if you do want to do liquid liner, as I said, keep it really nice and thin. If you do want to create a little bit of a flick at the outer corner, keep in mind you'll only be able to do this if that hood doesn't go below where your angle would be. So your angle would be about here. So if your hood's any lower than mine is, you probably can't get away with wearing a wing. If you do, the wing is going to be the statement, and you're going to have to do it quite thick so that the crease doesn't get in the way of the line. So as you can see, I've kept it quite thin so it doesn't actually get disturbed by my crease. If I bring it too much thicker, then the crease will go through that line and it will distort the line. So you can see this eye just looks so much better than this eye. Now if I go like this eye looks actually, you know, not too bad, but this eye looks a bit crazy. But as I said, you need to keep working with your eyes open and keep relaxing the brows. Some people do this, just keep relaxing your brows, and then you're gonna be able to see that nice shape and how everything sits together. Something that I think opens up the eyes quite a lot is bringing a little bit of eyeshadow underneath and, you know, not doing anything too harsh on the bottom. If you're gonna do a harsh line underneath, it's gonna, I don't know, I don't think it's super flattering on any eyes, so I'm just gonna add it in here anyway. I don't even know how to do a line underneath. I actually don't know how to do one full line underneath, so I'm just gonna leave it at that so I don't hurt myself. And on this side, I'm just gonna take a little bit of that same eyeshadow and blend it underneath. Some people avoid putting eyeshadows underneath their eyes because they think it makes them look more tired or whatever, but if you keep it, you know, pretty pretty neat and blend it just a little bit. It's just gonna open up the eyes a little bit more. Next up, you want to do big lashes. So I actually have eyelash extensions on at the moment that I'm getting touched up tomorrow. I don't want to go in with any mascara or fake lashes at the moment because I don't want to get a build up in there because it's going to be too hard for them when they fix them up for me tomorrow. So I'm just going to keep this eye basic with just a few lashes. So this is going to represent, you know, just going in with a crappy layer of mascara and not opening up the eyes. And then on this eye, I'm just going to gently place some falsies, but I'm not going to glue them down, just so that you can see the effect and the difference that having good lashes makes. If you do find that your mascara transfers all up the top, make sure you're using a waterproof one and just, you know, kind of keep your eyes a bit like this while the mascara is drying so that it doesn't transfer on the top if your hood hangs on top of your lashes. But making sure you have the mascara on is going to be a big bonus. Or at least at the very minimum, try and get your lashes tinted, and then you don't have to worry about it, and it's going to help, you know, just open up the eyes a little bit more. I haven't glued these lashes on, I've just placed them there. But you can really see the difference and how they just open up the eye a lot more. So I think that shows a very big difference. You can clearly see how much more beneficial these steps are for your eye. However, as I said, don't worry about if you like any of these steps. Just try and keep in mind the tips and tricks I've given you to try and achieve a slightly less hooded effect. I hope all these tips and tricks help you out. Makeup is, you know, just a bit of fun, so definitely don't worry about it. If you like how your makeup is like this, definitely feel free. This video is just to help out people who kind of want to minimize the appearance of their hooded eyes, and, you know, you don't have to do it. If you don't like how something looks, you know, you can just wash it off and start again. So don't take it too seriously. My main tips are keep your brows a bit fuller. Don't use too much shimmer, especially on the crease and on the brow bone. Keep your eyeliner a lot thinner. Look after your lashes. Get them tinted, get them permed, get them lifted. Apply mascara, get eyelash extensions, falsies, anything to lift and open up the eye. Definitely do not skip out on that step. If you find that it transfers, go for something waterproof, go for something like eyelash extensions because they're not going to, you know, rub off onto anything. So those are my main tips. I hope you enjoy. If you do, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of my new videos. I'll see you all next time. Bye.
That's good.